What's up, guys? This is Ghosted from Team Adversity, and today we're going to be bringing you a point of view of Complex dropping a MOAB on lockdown. And today's topic is pretty much discussing loyalty, professionalism, and how to become a better teammate. And Showtime here is going to kick it off with explaining why we are doing this and for what purpose.
Hey guys, it's showtime. Like Ghosted said, we're going to be discussing those three topics today. The point of this video is going to be just to give an insight on maybe a future up-and-coming team, or maybe some people who don't really know about the competitive scene, what sponsors are going to be looking for, what teammates want to hear inside of mid-game. I want to let Complex elaborate first a little bit on the first one on what exactly, a teammate wants to hear a little bit inside of the game, how to be a better teammate. We're going to start with that one first. So Complex, you want to start off with that one?
Yes. To be a better teammate, you gotta be supportive. No matter how many flags you're down, how many rounds you're down, you have to, tell your teammate, just keep it up. You can do better, and pretty much motivate your teammate. Even when if they choke or they're doing bad, tell them you get them next time. Just keep their mind off of thinking that, oh wow, they mess up. That now it become a pressure thing, and you don't want to play with pressure. And so that's pretty much, you just have to be supportive, be positive. That's like the main key, to be positive. Everything has to be positive, in game, outside of game, and all around. So as much as you, when you're positive, your team's gonna pick up on the a positive vibe, and it's gonna just drive you to win the map.
That's true. I wanna elaborate a little bit on this. A lot of teams have captains on their teams. I can pretty much say we're one of the only teams probably that doesn't have a captain. Pretty much we have everything we do sponsorship-wise, team-wise is a team-based decision. Recently we made a roster change that was a team-based decision. It wasn't just a one-person decision. The only time, in my opinion, you need a captain is in-game. If you have that one person in-game who can be a vocal leader to tell your team, like, come on guys, we can do this, or if my teammate gets an epic three-piece, like I want to be that vocal leader to, hype my team up, get them pumped up, even if it's a scrim. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be that vocal leader for your team. Other than that, I don't know if Ghost, do you have anything else to add about that at all, or you want to go on to the next one?
I think you guys pretty much covered it all. So that was discussing the teammate, how to become a better teammate. Showtime touched on the captain base being a vocal leader, and that's obviously very important. Pretty much I want to touch on loyalty, which is the next topic. I should probably be the last one to talk about loyalty, but loyalty is important. I bounced through many teams towards the end of MW3, midpoint through MW3 between Tyrant, Arsenal, and SK, and now ADV. One big part of loyalty and reason why a lot of people become free agents and stuff like that is based in game. People not getting along, and that's one thing I can really voice myself on, is that you got to be able to get along with your teammates. You have to be friends with them. Showtime I've known for about 2 years, and I've been teaming with him for a long time. I mean, he brought me into competitive COD for the most part. It's been one hell of a ride, but he started me on it, and I'm comfortable with him, and that's why I'm loyal with Showtime, and I've grown to become really good friends with Complex and Theory as well, and that's just one huge factor that you really need, is being loyal to your teammates and to yourself, and being a friend with your teammates is one huge factor.
That is true. I do want to talk about that a little bit as well. Is if you can't, be friends with your teammates, guys, and that's not going to lead to success for yourself. I mean, I look at Ghoster. We met back on Deathwish for the first time. We hated each other before we teamed. He was on a team called New Standards. I was on Wish. I was on Organized Confusion with Sarcasm and Rick Ross and all them. And we straight up hated each other. And then I brought him onto Wish with me and Sarcasm, and ever since then, me and him have been best of friends. We might not always team together, but our friendship runs deeper than gaming. And that's the thing, is you got to remember that. It's the same thing with Complex. And just for an instance, we can touch base a little bit on it, guys, before we move to the next topic. Theory absolutely hated Ghoster when we picked Ghoster up the first time. I mean, he hated him. Ghoster hated him too. They absolutely hated each other the same with a passion. And I told both of them, I said, you guys don't have to be best friends outside of the game, but inside of the game, you gotta be, you gotta be like brothers. That's all I asked for. And they did that, and they put their beef aside inside of the game, and they learned to get along. and then eventually, that hate's gonna go away a little bit. There's obviously gonna be a couple things that might make people upset, as you see Complex just got his MOAB there. But that's just the reality of it, guys. You just gotta get along with your teammates, and that's all it's gonna come down to. If you can be brothers with your teammates and you become really good friends with them, you're gonna go a long way. Next thing we want to touch base on, I believe, is sponsorships and being professional. Complex, you want to elaborate a little bit on that for him?
Yeah, I'll touch on the professionalism a little bit. Keeping yourself in good shape and over Twitter is very important. That's the first thing that sponsorship will look at is your social media network, how you interact with other people in the community. So no flame war, no talking trash over Twitter and stuff like that. If you can keep that at a minimum or not to none at all, you're in good shape because sponsor would look for that because they don't want some guy representing them and then that guy will go to a random person on Twitter or start trash talking over Twitter, and that's just not a good look for their company also.
Here, I'm just going to touch on that a little bit. Another
Yeah.
thing with sponsors and professionalism, obviously, like you just brought up the Twitter thing, that's really important. Stay away from the drama, block people. The block is there for a reason. Another thing that goes hand to hand with sponsorships and grabbing sponsorships is loyalty. Again, going back to that, keeping the same consistent roster. I mean, that's something sponsors will always look at because it's easier to do business around, and it's easy to keep it stable from a business standpoint, and sponsors look at that highly.
Yeah, I just want to put my 2 cents in real quick here, boys. I'm usually the one that talks to a lot of the sponsors. I know we probably should. We give into a lot of times of the Twitter drama. We might have started arguments back in the day. But recently, as a team, we decided that it's just not worth it anymore. We represent companies and organizations that pay for us to travel places, give us jerseys, give us promotion for our team to expand our brand, and it's not really fair to them or to us to humiliate ourselves by stooping to somebody's level who might just be out for a troll because they have nobody to represent. So pretty much at the end of the day, guys, just focus on what you're doing with your team. If people are hating, you're either doing something right or they're jealous of what you have, and that's something we've learned to do. We just learned to embrace the hate, let things go, and eventually they're either going to learn to shut up and leave you alone, or you're just going to have to block them. You're not ever going to have to worry about what they're going to say again. And then that's just reality of it, guys. This video is winding down here. I think Complex ends up like 43-2 or 43-3, something like that. Just wanted to switch it up, bring you guys some different kind of gameplay besides just competitive. We will be releasing another video again tomorrow, which I believe will be Saturday by the time this video comes out. So stay tuned for that. I'm not quite sure what it'll be yet, but thanks guys for everything. Make sure to like and subscribe. All our sponsors will be in the chat, and we'll talk to you later, fellas
And
and
always
ladies.
AOD.